All right, it is February 11th, noon. Call this meeting to order. Commissioner Holbrook, please open us with prayer.
Sir, dear Heavenly Father God, we gather with gratitude today, God, and gratitude for your love and your mercy and your forgiveness. We ask for your guidance today for wisdom and discernment as we collectively aim to serve this community to the best of our abilities. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner. Clerk, you please call roll.
Judge Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Here.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Here.
Commissioner Stapleton.
Here.
Right. So move to the approval of minutes, January 14th and January 23rd. Get a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, move to the finance section, approval of submitted bills and transfers. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, move to CAECO lease for Kenworth trucks. This is the same program that we do every year. This is through CAECO, Kentucky Association of Counties. This is a lease program for our big tri-axle dump trucks. This year we went with Kenworth instead of Mack. Let me see if I can't pull this down. Does anybody have any questions on this? I'm sure we do this every single year. Let's see. Yeah, right here. This is a resolution approving the lease for the financing of a project, providing for the payment and security of the lease, authorizing and execution of various documents related to such lease, and making certain designations regarding such lease. So why this program is good is every many trucks you take, they take the total amount. Long story short, all you do is pay interest on them monthly. I cannot remember off the top of my head what these payments are. Prior to this, they were around $463 a truck, I believe, a month, somewhere in that range. But this is a good program. This gets us in a new tri-axle trucks every single year, and then we take them to auction. When we take them to auction, sometimes we win, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we'll make some money, sometimes we won't. Last year we did not. But the year before that, we made some pretty good money on selling them. So this is a good program for us and for our guys. So can we get a motion in a second on this?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, we'll move to the general section, reappointment of Robert Webb to Canonsburg Water. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, we move to the approval of animal shelter policies and procedures. This is a big one. We're going to spend some time here. We're going to go through the highlights of the things that we have changed and added. The animal shelter has been a hot topic over the past few months. We're all aware of that. We've made some changes that I think we all believe to be extremely positive. They'll make a big difference. So we all got together, sat down, had a conversation, and we identified the things that we do well, and we've identified the things that we did not do so well. So we found a way to mitigate some of these issues. What we'll be approving today is essentially general policies. It covers everything from the mission statement to volunteer conduct to social media policy, health and safety guidelines, so on and so forth. So we've worked with the community on this, volunteers at our shelter. We've worked with Debbie out at the shelter. We've worked with our animal control officer, worked with the commissioners, and we've put together this. So what I'd like to do is we'll start with the mission statement, and then I'm going to go to section 3 and section 6. The rest of everything in here is they're I don't want to use the word not as important because they're very important, but 3 and 6 are the main topics that we need to talk about. Those will be the ones that the public probably has the most input on. So we'll start with the mission statement. The Boyd County Animal Shelter is committed to providing compassionate care to animals, promoting responsible pet ownership, and facilitating adoptions to ensure every animal finds a safe and loving home. Our goal is to reduce animal homelessness and improve the quality of life for all pets in the county. So, we'll start here. A couple things I want to talk about in section 2, which is general policies. The shelter will be open to the public from Tuesday to Friday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday from noon until 4. Appointments can be made during other hours if needed. A couple changes here I want to talk about. When we are open in the selected hours that are open to the public, we'll no longer be allowed to go back into the kennel area with the animals. We've talked to CAECO on this, insurance providers on this. That's a safety concern, and a lot of shelters don't let you do that. So every animal that we have, like always, will be posted on social media, be posted online. You'll be able to browse through the pictures of them, kind of go through and see which animal you may be interested in taking a look at. We'll also, this won't be immediate, but this is in the works. We'll have iPads on the wall when you walk in. If you come at a time that's outside of, say, an appointment, you just walk in. We'll have iPads that you can scroll through the animals that are in the back. You want to see one, we'll bring that animal to you. We do worry about, children being located in the back, get bit or cage accidentally doesn't get locked. So we want to make sure we keep the general public out of the back side of that for safety concerns and insurance purposes. So, every day, the shelter, and somebody correct me on these times if I'm wrong, Tuesday through Friday, the cleanliness and care will be provided from 8:30 to 4, and that'll be taken care of by Mr. Bill Hensley and the Jail Community Work Program and the Inmate Work Program. They will go in every day. They will clean the shelter. They'll take care of it, care for the animals, walk them, get them outside. Maybe not a lot of time outside on days like today, but pretty days, definitely get them out there, walk with them, play with them. And then they will leave. And from 4 to 8, that shelter will be open to the public. So what we're doing there is we're splitting it into 2 areas where we can come in, we can clean, we can take care of the facility, get it dialed in. And then when we're open to the public for those 4 hours in the evening time, which is most of the time through the week when people get off work, they'll be able to come in and see the animals if they're interested in adopting one. Go from there. Saturday hours we'll have 8:30 to 12 will be clean and care again, and we'll be open to the public from 12 to 4. We will be closed on Sunday and Monday. Now, one thing I want to be specify there is that does not mean that the shelter will not be taken care of. We will continue to make sure that it is clean and the animals are cared for, walked, exercised, all that on a daily basis. So even for those days, we had a request from the public to be open in the evening. That's why we're doing this, right? That's why we want to make sure we have those evening hours when you get off work, or your kid gets out of practice, you've got an animal you want to come look at, you're able to do that in the evening time. So let's see here in section. Next, we'll move to the highlights here in section 3, which is animal intake procedures. I'll just read these off. If we need to talk about any line items, we can do so. Stray or surrendered animals will be assessed for health and behavior upon intake. Number 2, every attempt will be made to reunite lost animals with their owners through identification, tags, and public notices. A holding period of 5 days will be observed for stray animals before they are eligible for adoption. This is just in case you lose your animal, lose your dog or your cat. We pick them up. We'll have them for 5 days before they're eligible for adoption. Okay, here's a big one. Animals may remain in the shelter for up to 90 days. During this period, alternate placement options such as foster care or transfer to another facility will be pursued. After this period, animals may be euthanized if no placement options are available. Now, let's spend some time and talk about that one because it's a very important one. Because I know that that statement will mean that we're going from what would be defined as a kill shelter or a no kill shelter to a kill shelter, right? So over the past few months, we've had some issues with actually being able to adopt or move animals. This is not just a county issue. This is a nationwide issue, right? Let's see if I can find these numbers here. Prior to becoming no kill, intake ranged from 800 to 1,000 animals a year. Okay, 800 to 1,000 animals per year that we would bring in. The only reason we was able to do that, shelter was the same size. We brought them in and we moved them. Not because we was euthanizing them and putting them down. That rate stayed below 10%, which the Animal Humane Society defines still as a no-kill shelter. Not because of that, but because there's a word there that's very important, urgency, sense of urgency, okay? What we found since switching to a no-kill shelter is, as we call nationwide to these rescues, we talk to them. One of the first questions they'll ask you is if you're a kill or no-kill shelter. As soon as you tell them you're a no-kill shelter, the sense of urgency is gone. The sense of urgency is gone. They put you on the bottom of the list for adoption. They put you on the bottom of the list, which means that our animals remain in our shelter longer. So after becoming a no-kill shelter, that intake dropped to 234 in 2024. The numbers don't lie. You know, we were bringing in 800 to 1,000, euthanizing less than 10%. And now we're bringing in 234 in 2024. It has nothing to do with the intake being down. We get more calls now than we've ever got. Our shelter's full. Nobody's adopting the animals. We can't move them to rescues. There's no sense of urgency to move these animals. So with that being said, no kill, this is from PETA. I want to read a couple things from PETA. This is very important. No kill policies don't prevent animals from dying. They simply leave them to die elsewhere, often miserably. Facilities that adhere to these policies opt not to involve themselves in euthanasia by turning away animals in need, shipping animals out of state, and often untraceable destinations, or warehousing animals in cages indefinitely. That's what we have. We've had animals in that shelter for over 2 years. Let's see. Right here. Also from PETA. Animals at no-kill shelters who have been deemed unadoptable may be warehoused in cages for years. They become withdrawn, severely depressed, or aggressive, and this further decreases their chances for adoption. Cageless facilities, which were not, avoid cruelty of constant confinement, but unintentionally encourage fighting and the spread of disease among animals. Now, we are not a cageless facility. The important part here to note is that the animals can become withdrawn, severely depressed, or aggressive. I know that if I was sitting in a cage for 2 years and I was being walked 1 or 2 times a day, I know exactly how I'd feel. Now, back when we was having, back in the day, you know, I want to touch on this too, because it seems to be sometimes that everybody believes that the animal shelter is this magical place that animals just come and it's a fairy tale land. That's not how it is. You know, problems just don't go away because the animal shelter takes the animal, right? Back in the day, before we put a limit on the amount of cats that we could bring in, we had a 12 by 12 float room that would have, I don't know how many cats in them. On average, 14 cats dying a day at that point in time. No way to live. No way to live. They was all in one room, concrete floor. That's just how it was, right? So it got to the point to where in my mind, it was better to open that back door and let them go into Armco Park with 256 acres for them to live their life and do their thing. I know how I would rather be. I'd rather be in that park than I would be in that room. So what we did to answer that was we set a limit on the amount of cats that we could bring in. We set 14 cages. We reserved X amount of cages for the city of Ashland, X amount of cages for the rest of the county. By doing that, we limited our intake, provided what I would call better care for those cats because the population inside the shelter was down, However, we didn't have room to take any more, right? There is no good answer. If Boyd County Fiscal Court bought Walmart Supercenter right now, it'd be full in 2 months. It's what happens. This is a nationwide problem. So I'm kind of getting off topic here, but this is very important to note that when we say that after this 90-day period, that animals may be euthanized if no placement options are available, I want to make sure that the key word there is the sense of urgency from the public, the sense of urgency from these rescues to help move these animals. Listed as a no-kill, you stand no chance. This gives us a sense of urgency to help move these animals out. So, also on section 3, let's see. All owners surrendered animals must be subject to a fine of $150. That's the same as the adoption fee, which we'll get to next here in just a few minutes. Let's see. So section 4 is animal care and welfare. Section 5 is adoption policies. Section 6, volunteer conduct. Very important here. We're changing the way that this works. Let's see. Volunteer hours will be Sunday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday 12 to 4. All volunteers must schedule their time through the volunteer coordinator. This is a new position that we are creating. This will be a good thing. Everything will focus straight through one point of contact, and that point of contact will be responsible for setting the schedule for volunteers, for dividing up the times, responsibilities, so on and so forth. So we don't have 49 people showing up at one time. We're going to have the appropriate required amount of people to be there at all times. So, or throughout these times that I just stated, Sunday, Friday, 4 to 8, Saturday, 12 to 4. Volunteers will be screened, trained, and must sign a waiver. Volunteers and staff are expected to act professionally, respectfully, and in the best interest of the animals. Any instance of misconduct or neglect will result in immediate removal from the volunteer program at the discretion of the volunteer coordinator. All volunteers are at will and can be dismissed at any time. Section 7 is social media policy, very important. Section 8 is health and safety guidelines. 9 is community engagement and education. Listen, we want to get the community involved. The shelter will host community outreach programs and public workshops to promote animal welfare education. We'll have partnerships with local organizations to help foster these animals. So section 10 is incident and complaint procedures. We've got a procedure for that now. And then record keeping documentation. So anything I missed on that? All of this will be posted on the website. And as always, I encourage anyone, open records request, please. These are your documents, it's taxpayer documents. So anything you need, these will be posted on our website, transparency like we always do. And this will be available on there, or you can come in and request a copy. So, commissioners, do y'all want to talk about anything before we move forward with the motion in a second?
I just think that everybody needs to know that this was a group effort. I mean, there was a lot of people involved in trying to make these new policies. I don't think there's any of us that are out to kill animals, to be honest with you. I think we want to give them every opportunity possible to be able to but we're not a rescue. We're a shelter. And I think that's the key word. And, Boyd County is a big place. And to be honest with you, I think that a lot of counties, outside counties, I think people bring their dogs from outside counties because we do take such good care of our animals and things. And they bring them to our place and dump them. That's the only thing I know how to say it. But I think this is going to move the needle in the right direction, so to speak, as far as the urgency for the dogs to be adopted out of the shelter. And if it's not, hey, we worked on this document. Who's to say that we can't come back and rearrange and redo, and make everything a perfect fit? I mean, I think that's the good thing about our court is, we're open to ideas. I mean, the public will had a big input on this. I mean, and this is what we end up with, and maybe it's not perfect, but it's where we're going right now. And after we get down the road a little ways, maybe we can readjust and do some other things. So,
I liked it at the end of it. It said this manual will be reviewed annually and updated as necessary. And I think having everyone's voice, that's the volunteers and the staff at the shelter who are on the front lines can have that input to say, hey, maybe we need to adjust this or that. And we'll say, yeah, let's do that. So
That makes it a working document, you know? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there's gonna be things in there that we change. We know that. This isn't the best last final. This is what it is. This is a working document that we'll update each year and continue going. I think we really have a solid plan in place here. We got a good group of people working on this. You know, like Commissioner Salisbury said, I mean, we're not just out looking for animals, you know, we're looking to do something that we deem we deem appropriate per se. But what we're trying to do here is create the best life possible for the animals that we do have. You know, we had an animal, I believe her name was Polly, and she spent over 2 years in that shelter, over 2 years. And it got to the point that, you know, we was going to have to make a decision with Polly due to some circumstances. So, but the sense of urgency that I was talking about got Polly rescued. So very important after 2 years of being in that shelter, a sense of urgency got Polly out of there. So again, working document, please, if you have anything, just give us a call. We want to sit down, talk about this, go over it with you. So with that being said, can I get a motion in a second for the approval of animal shelter policies and procedures?
so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the animal shelter fee change. Very important. We went and looked at this as well. The proposed animal shelter fees, a surrender fee be $150, the adoption fee $150, reclaim fee $30, rabies voucher $15, in a bite case 10-day quarantine $125. This covers our costs for spay and neuter. This covers our costs for all the shots and all the medical cost of making sure that this animal is good to go when you adopt it. So can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. Next, we'll move to the approval of hiring Debbie Diamond for the animal shelter. Get a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you please call roll?
Commissioner Stapleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Holbrook,
Yes.
Commissioner Salisbury,
Yes.
Judge Cheney.
Yes. That makes 2 seconds. Next, we'll move to transparency. We have Horn Street closure work. This is located in Westwood area. Repairs to this road will begin February 17th. For the public safety as well as safety of work crews, Horn Street will be closed from Monday, February 17th to Sunday, March 2nd. All traffic will have to use French Broad to get to Mills Prince and Christine for 14 days. Right. Thank you. See, next we'll go to community comment. Well, call my cell phone if you have any questions or comments, 606-922-7742. We'll wait here just a few minutes. Okay, hey, hang on, I got one. Let me make sure it's for this, hang on.
Community comment?
Yes, you are on right now.
All right, well, hey, everybody. So, as one of the volunteers, just wanted to ask for continued support. This fostering volunteering is so important with these changes coming about. So we understand the changes, I think, as a community and the impacts from just the problems that everyone is facing. But in order to keep our animals safe and move them, we need to keep up the good work that we've been doing, which is engaging with the animals, working on socialization, training, being with them, and keeping them out of those kennels as much as possible throughout the day and throughout the evening. All of that good work benefits their future family, and it helps us highlight the animals that are there and the animals that are looking for homes. So we just have to keep going. Like, this does not discourage us. I want to be clear about that. As people that volunteer at the shelter today, I think this change only drives us forward. So we need the help. We need to keep going, and just thank you to the court. And I appreciate the opportunity to kind of keep an open discussion about these changes. So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye guys.
Thank you. And that's a very important statement. I mean, open dialogue is why we're here, right? I mean, we all ran for office because we wanted to make a change in our community. I mean, we're not out to make enemies. We're not out to make people mad, although it's what we do. It's just part of getting elected, right? So we're here to listen too. I mean, anything that y'all want to talk about, we're open door. I mean, y'all have my cell phone number. Call me. If I don't call you back, I will. Just give me some time. There's a lot of phone calls on there. But we're here for you. We work for you. So please let us know if there's anything that we need to change or look at. Let's have open dialogue, and that's a very important point. So I did not get any other calls for community comment. So let's go ahead and move to new business. Commissioners, do y'all have anything?
Nope.
Let me just follow up real quick. This is the perfect time to ask for more volunteers on the Facebook page. There's a great form for people to sign up to be volunteers at the animal shelter. So take that opportunity to filter that passion to help and betterment this program. So I know they've got a great direction going right there, and so they're going to do excellent with you. So anyone who wants to put the time in, would love to have them there.
All right, commissioners, y'all have anything else?
Nope.
I've got two things. Last meeting, we discussed code enforcement, the code enforcement board. We've been having some good conversations since that meeting. In the March meeting, we will most likely move to disband the board. Of course, we'll have a procedure on how all that stuff works, but the reason for that isn't, honestly, it's not anything short of just attendance, right? I mean, we have 3 members on the board, and we can't have constant meetings because we can't get everybody to show up. So that pushes everything back that code enforcement's working on. So we're going to go back to the more direct approach where we handle it. We've had some great meetings with Bobby Stewart, code enforcement. We've got some good plans in place. County attorney, we've sat in here for hours working a new way to go about this. So we'll be hopeful to present that in the March meeting. So we're looking forward to that. Also, this does not need any action taken, but we will be putting out an RFP for a sports complex. That project is still moving forward, and every day is getting closer and closer to reality. So we're going to put out an RFP, see what's out there. We've got a list of our requirements, what we're looking for, and we'll have our architect put that all together, and we'll get that out as an RFP and get that posted here within the next 7 to 10 days. So be on the lookout for that. As far as other new business, I do not have anything. Commissioners, you all are good, right?
Good. Good.
Eric, I just want to say real quick, I just have the final numbers for 2024. We have collected over $172,000 in delinquent taxes.
Good job.
Good job
That's
on that.
and that's for 2024.
Well, good job on that, Curtis. That's good.
Very good.
All right, new business. We're good there. Get them. When's the next meeting? Oh, next meeting is March 11th, looks like. So we'll see you then. Get a motion in a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I guess we're all in favor. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.